Welcome to the show, everybody. Joseph Robert Camo, the fantasy football counselor. We are in full flow fantasy football mock draft season. We're actually in draft season right now. Want to do another mock draft here for you and clear up the first 5 rounds, walking you through, because I got a lot of questions. Who do you draft first overall? Who do you draft mid first round? Who do you draft second round? What do I do? Do I go robust RB? When do I get a quarterback? It's a 2-quarterback league. When do I get a quarterback? I'm going to answer some of those frequently asked questions right here, right now, get you guys in the zone and get you guys a good foundation for the first 5 rounds. We are drafting from the 9th position. If you're listening in the car, don't worry. I'm going to be walking you through this on audio as well. So guys, it's gonna be very easy, okay? First 5 rounds, very easy, gonna lay it out for you, okay? If you actually want to know exactly who to draft in each round, all the optimal players laid out for you guys in detail, get the 16-round draft solution. I've linked it here below, or head on over to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. I'm telling you guys, it'll put you guys light years ahead of the competition, meaning you'll know exactly what to do, when to do it, anticipate moves, know when ADPs are, know when to get the value, know when to get the sleepers, know when to do everything, and really, really have that competitive edge over the competition, guys. So head on over to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com, or I've linked the 16-round draft solution below. Make sure you guys grab it. Don't hesitate. It's really going to help you guys crush your leagues. Okay, guys? So also manscaped.com, head on over there, use promo code ShowerLion. Treat yourself, guys. They've got amazing products, fit and finish, amazing products on the lawnmowers. Going to be able to trim your balls very nicely without any nicks and cuts. Okay, guys? Manscaped.com, use promo code ShowerLion. All right. We are 30 seconds away from starting. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. All real people here. Now, when we are drafting, we're going to be looking at going robust RB. I'm going to show you guys how fast running backs come off the board, okay? So I don't know anybody in this draft. It's totally random, but I will tell you this. Running backs are coming off the board this year faster than you could say, I want a running back. Like, literally, like, it's insane. So you definitely want to secure the most scarce position, which is the running back position, okay? Let's roll with this. Now, I do want to note here, a lot of people say, well, Joe, what if I'm in a super flex league, meaning I start 2 quarterbacks, or I'm in a 2-quarterback league? If that's the case, then quarterbacks do tend to come off a little earlier, and then you got to accommodate for that, meaning that if you want an ace quarterback like a Herbert or a Wilson or someone like that, you might have to go earlier on a quarterback. I don't know what to tell you, but you got to just pull the trigger on a player that you really want, whether it be a quarterback or not. So you might have to end up getting a quarterback in the 2nd round, maybe even the 1st in a 2-quarterback league. I know a lot of people ask me that, okay? So again, I'm going to be walking you through the first 5 rounds. If you want the full mock drafts, go to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com, get the 16-round draft solution, okay? So Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook off the board. Pretty obvious here, pretty routine. Now, I really don't feel Dalvin Cook's going to finish a season. Why? It's because he hasn't finished a season before. So it is what it is. That's just how I feel. I could be wrong. He still is going to get a lot of volume, and the talent is there for sure. So CMC, Dalvin Cook, Zeke Elliott with the 3rd pick off the board. Zeke coming off relatively early. Now, understand that Zeke apparently is looking in the best shape of his life. Could have a great season this year. A bit of a down year last year. No way but up for Zeke Elliott, okay? Alvin Kamara coming off the board here with the 4th pick. Okay, that's understandable. But there is no Drew Brees this year. And we know Taysom Hill did not look that good in preseason. If you guys watch that game, they do have Winston, but also with Michael Thomas out, possible a lot of stacked boxes, stuff like that. So Alvin Kamara, I think there's just too many question marks for me this year with Alvin Kamara. I might fade him, okay? Then we got the 5th pick, Derrick Henry, coming off the board. As you can see, guys, I did not plan this draft. I'm telling you, running backs coming off the board like crazy, okay? So you gotta something to be aware of, right? something to consider if you are going early. Now, we're going to be thinking about who we're going to be getting, right? One thing I do when I'm doing mock drafts, I'm too busy explaining and analyzing the picks that I don't even focus on who I'm going to pick, okay? So Nick Chubb, very early for Nick Chubb in the 1st round at all. If I would grab Nick Chubb in the 5th, 6th round, people are like, Joe, you're crazy. Why? I mean, he got outscored by Kareem Hunt last year. Injury do count, right? And Kareem Hunt is just as good. If you guys remember, Kareem Hunt was actually the rushing leader in 2017. He's there, and he's going to be getting all of the passing work, some goal line work. He's going to be a thorn in the side of Nick Chubb. So if Nick Chubb was going to have a 30-point game, he's only going to get 15 because half of that is going to Kareem Hunt. and I'm greedy, and I want my running backs to get the volume. Aaron Jones coming off the board. I can't believe Saquon's still on the board. Like, it blows my mind because, oh, there he goes. I think he came off the board there. So I'm actually in a tough spot here. Jonathan Taylor, I do like. I just think Marlon Mack's going to be a bit of a thorn. I'm just going to go ahead and pull the trigger on Najee Harris. And as you can see, guys, right across the board, no hesitation here. Now, you're going to see a wide receiver come off the board probably right now. Maybe a Tyreek Hill. Yeah, there you go. Davante Adams, pretty typical. But the thing is, I do not invest a first-round pick on a wide receiver, knowing there's a ton of depth at wide receiver this year. Believe me, guys, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Elijah Moore. There's so many like sleepers, Jamar Chase, that you can get later and stack onto other wide receivers that you're already going to get as well. I mean, I'm just gave you a couple sleepers there, but I'm telling you, man, there's so much depth at the wide receiver position. Let's recap the first round. We got 2 more picks here to round out the first round. Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Zeke Elliott, Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Aaron Jones, Saquon Barkley, Najee Harris, Tyreek Hill, Davante Adams, Stephon Diggs, Travis Kelce, and then Jonathan Taylor to round out the first round. Now we're going to loop around the second round. Now here's where it gets a little finicky, a little bit weird, okay? So if you go later in the first round, you're kind of torn between, like, do I get myself a Montgomery, a Mixon, and a Lair, Jacobs? Does he come back? Like, this is the thing. See how slim and trim it is at running back? Chris Carson could have a good year, but he's been shown a side of injuries in the past. So then I may look at wide receivers. So let's see what falls to us as we get here. I was looking at Ridley. So Austin Eckler, Calvin Ridley coming off the board, DeAndre Hopkins. So again, people ask me, like, what do you do here? You've already got a running back. Do you look at wide receiver? Well, let's see who's available. There goes Clyde Edwards-Helaire, typical second-round guy. So Eckler, Ridley, Hopkins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and then we'll see who comes off later. Then Antonio Gibson. As you can see, guys, I'm going to take a quick glance at wide receivers. I'm not going to go any one of these guys. I could go DK Metcalf. I do see a high ceiling for him, possibly. But again, there's so many other wide receivers. Now, with running backs, Joe Mixon concerns me. David Montgomery concerns me. I'm just going to pull the trigger here on David Montgomery because literally, like, I'm having a hard time trusting Nagy. There's no doubt. But do you go Henderson? Like, is he true? They're saying that, yeah, he could be the workhorse guy, right? Cam Akers has got Swift. I mean, Williams there. I don't trust him. Jacobs, maybe he comes back. He was lower on the ADP here. Mixon, I just don't trust him, right? If I had gone wide receiver here, A.J. Brown, he's sharing the, let's talk about this. Sharing the field with Julio Jones. I know Julio Jones hasn't been able to stay healthy, but Ryan Tannehill doesn't throw a lot. Metcalf is there with Lockett. That could have been a good option. McLaurin has a high ceiling. Keenan Allen would have been a good option if I go wide receiver there because I do believe in Herbert, right? And again, I'm not investing too early on a Waller, a Kittle, Hawkinson, maybe a Pitts, but second round, way too early, right? So I just wanted to get the best possible workhorse running back. Because, again, there's no other running backs. They're literally, they get very slim. Now, I do like guys, there is sleepers I like Michael Carter, Javonte Williams, guys like that, which we'll try to get here. But I had to go with the best possible running back, which was David Montgomery. And, again, you could make a case with Joe Mixon there, Antonio Gibson, but he was gone, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So totally up to you and your preference. I think Williams will be a thorn in the side of Montgomery a little bit. Tariq Cohen when he gets back. It's hard to trust it. New offense. Does Fields take the field? That could change things, but Montgomery should still get his fair share of workload, okay? So let's recap the second round. Austin Eckler, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Antonio Gibson, David Montgomery, Justin Jefferson, Joe Mixon, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf. Again, just people just drafting on ADP, not really thinking it through here, okay? So one thing you got to note, again, A.J. Brown, he's a top 7 pick on the consensus rankings amongst wide receivers. I mean, yes, he could be, but I don't know if he's going to get the volume. He only had 106 targets last year. Now Julio's there. It's a run-first team. Ryan Tannehill was 18th in passing attempts. Is there going to be enough volume? This kind of reminds me of last year where Godwin was coming off. Remember when I told you guys avoid Kenyon Drake, who was coming off here, Austin Eckler, who was coming off here, Lamar Jackson, who was coming off here, Chris Godwin, who was coming off here. Like, what I'm talking about is Chris Godwin was coming off in the second round for those people listening in the car. Lamar Jackson, second round. Austin Eckler, first round. Kenyon Drake, end of first round. I helped you guys that Michael Thomas was coming off here, top 5 pick. I said avoid him. Okay, so that's one thing I'm really good at is like know when to hold him, know when to fold him. Right, you don't want to overpay. So this year, I just feel there's a ton of guys here like Jefferson, AJ Brown, maybe even Gibson. You're probably going to overpay for. Okay, so recap: Eckler, Ridley, Hopkins, second round here. Allaire, Gibson, Montgomery. Again, if I didn't go Montgomery here, he wouldn't have came back around. Justin Jefferson, Joe Mixon, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Darren Waller. Very early for a tight end, especially for a guy. I mean, yeah, he's the most reliable target there, but I personally, second round, too early. Allen Robinson, again, I can get Darnell Mooney later. It's too early for Allen Robinson for me, but I definitely see some ceiling. Terry McLaurin, Chris Carson, starting off the third round. Keenan Allen falling to the third, very impressive. CeeDee Lamb, which I'm not really sold on. I think he could have a huge year, but how much volume is he going to get in a three-headed monster situation, right? We have Amari Cooper, who was the one last year, still should be the one, maxed out at 120, 130 targets. How much is CeeDee Lamb going to see? We see a quarterback finally coming off the board, Pat Mahomes here in the third round. So we're going to take a quick glance here and take a look at what running backs are available here. I might end up having Josh Jacobs fall here, which would be interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to try to get an ace wide receiver, however, and see who I can get. Maybe a Cooper Kupp, maybe a Adam Thielen, a Deontay Johnson. I think is going to get a ton of volume. Don't always believe the way the ADPs are, because Deontay Johnson could be a top 5 wide receiver, and he's sitting behind Brandon Ayuk here, which is absolutely ludicrous when Deebo Samuel is theoretically the one there, okay? DJ Moore is sitting ahead of Deontay Johnson, which is absolutely ludicrous here when Robbie Anderson's the one there. So where's Robbie Anderson? He's probably way down here. There he is. So don't believe ADP rankings. They'll lead you astray, okay, guys? So when you look at a volume standpoint, I just saw Chris Godwin come off the board with the 5th pick in the 3rd round. It's like, give me Deontay Johnson. He had 144 targets this year. His rapport only gets better with Big Ben, and Big Ben throws more than anybody else. Tom Brady spreads the ball around. They've got Antonio Brown, Mike Evans. You're literally, it's a coin toss as to who's going to get the ball. I'm going to think it's going to be Evans, but we don't really know, okay? So it's very important, guys, that you don't spread your target share with CeeDee Lambs and Chris Godwin's very early, like 3rd round, when you get guys that are going to get more volume. Does that make sense? This is very important. A lot of people don't talk about this. They'll just grab the best ADP player, which is absolutely bullshit. Don't fall for the lies. Don't fall for the manipulation. Do not fall for the trap. Okay, guys? And that's what they want to get you every year. Based on these cookie cutter ADP rankings, they will lead you astray. They will not help you, okay? So, recap, 3rd round, Keenan Allen, CeeDee Lamb, Pat Mahomes, Dobbins. I mean, he's sharing the backfield with Lamar Jackson. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, George Kittle, and this guy's taking his time here. We got 3 seconds left. And Saquon Jefferson, Darrell Henderson is what he went with. So, Darrell Henderson, again, could be a workhorse running back, but we don't know. And we're on the clock here. Cooper Kupp, obviously a good option here. I don't think Deontay is going to fall coming back. All good options. Take a quick glance at running back. We could grab ourselves a Josh Jacobs, but we're not. We're going to pass up here. We're going to go. I mean, all these guys are going to get the volume. I'm just going to go with Deontay Johnson. I still think he's going to get the volume, okay? I could have easily went Josh Jacobs, loaded up on my running back here, which would have been also a good option. So, again, I just wanted to get a wide receiver here. We're only doing 5 rounds. But, yeah, I think Josh Jacobs would have been a good option there as well. And it would have taken away another RB1 from some of these guys that definitely need one. Like this guy here, Team 12, he went 3-headed monster at wide receiver, Diggs, Hopkins, Woods, right? So he needed a running back, and now he's got to wait. So this might be a little early here, but I still see the ceiling. I might take a look here at Javonte Williams. I may consider him. He looked pretty good in preseason. I think he may take the job. He is a consideration because if I don't get him here, he's not coming back in the 5th. Just an option here. I could get my second wide receiver. I do like Adam Thielen a lot. Another good option here. When we look at quarterback, I can still wait. I still like Russell Wilson. I like Herbert, guys like that. Tannehill, Rodgers. Matt Ryan's a steal this year. My God. People are so high on Pitts and Ridley, but Matt Ryan is chopped liver. It's unbelievable. I love it. So yeah, I mean, people are gonna be sleeping on a lot of guys. So let's see what falls to us here. Recap 3rd round: Allen, Lamb, Mahomes, Dobbins, Godwin, Evans, Kittle, Henderson, Deontay Johnson, Cooper Kupp, Josh Jacobs, Robert Woods, Miles Sanders, and Amari Cooper. Again, people are just guessing. They're like, okay, well, I got the third round. I got Amari Cooper. He's the guy. Well, is he? What about CeeDee Lamb? Is he the guy? See, that's what I mean. People just are just going on ADP. They're fighting for target share. Aim high on the depth chart, guys. Always aim high on the depth chart. Get those target getters. Fourth round, Swift, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Tyler Lockett, DJ Moore. Very early for DJ Moore. We get Robbie Anderson. He's the one on the team. He proved it last year. And I'm going to take a look here. Wide receivers. And Thielen is there. I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. He's the wide receiver one on the team. And I'm getting him for immense value. Well, you're like, Joe, how is he the wide receiver one on the team? Last year, he was going in the second round. Now he's getting Jefferson, if you guys got my 60-round draft solution, in the 8th round last year. So I'm getting now a second-round guy in the 4th round. That's a steal, and he's the one. He was the number one touchdown guy on that team. His volume goes up. Jefferson goes down. And now we've got more of a balanced value there, right? You get Thielen in the 4th. And let people waste the second-round pick on Jefferson, who's already kind of been banged up already in preseason already. So, heck, I'm taking the wide receiver one, Adam Thielen, in the 4th round. No problem. Now, we're going to go up to round 5. We're going to get that last pick and finish the 4th and 5th round here. But it'd be interesting to see if Javonte Williams does fall, because he's one of those guys that he's sneaky. Like, people just take him, right? It's going to be very interesting to see if he falls here. I doubt it, but we're going to have to see, okay? So 4th round here, we got Swift, we got Josh Allen, we got Lamar Jackson, we got Tyler Lockett, we got DJ Moore, we got Adam Thielen, we got Julio Jones, and then we got Brandon Ayuk. Again, Brandon Ayuk, a little early for me. If you ask me, again, Deebo Samuel's there, new offense. We don't know what's going to happen with Lance. Is he going to throw the ball? Is he going to distribute the ball? Is it going to be spread around? Who's the wide receiver one? How much are the running backs going to get involved in the passing game? A lot of questions, okay? Hawkinson coming off here after Ayuk, and then Travis Etienne. Now, I'd rather have James Robinson. James Robinson here, guys, is what you got to understand is, yeah, it sucks, but as an RB 3, 4, 5, Robinson's a guy that I still think is the starter there. He looked good in preseason. Etienne's going to be involved in the passing game. Robinson could still be some decent value and get at least 230 attempts this season. I still think Robinson eats this here. I think people are paying a little too high on Travis Etienne, and I could be wrong, but I still think Robinson's still young. Now, if you look at a situation with Melvin Gordon, he sucks. He's washed up. He's older, right? They brought in Javonte Williams. I see him taking the job. When you look at a situation with Etienne and Robinson's still young, and he was one of the best players on the offense last year. I can't imagine them completely benching James Robinson and then starting Etienne. That's why Etienne is very expensive for a guy who's not going to be getting as much volume as you think he is with Robinson, the young, dynamic Robinson being there, right? I don't see it. All right, round 4 is done. Swift, Allen, Lamar Jackson, Tyler Lockett, DJ Moore, Adam Thielen, Julio Jones, Brandon Ayuk, TJ Hawkinson, Travis Etienne, Myles Gaskin, Kyle Pitts, Kareem Hunt, and Russell Wilson coming off the board. We're going to round it up here with the last round here. We're going to do 5 rounds here. And if you want the full mock draft, guys, head on over to thefantasyfootballaccounts.com. Get the 16-round draft solution. If this is making sense to you, I know it is. I'm giving you guys outside of the box thinking, right? Always aiming high on the depth chart. Always looking for the volume getters. Always trying to get depth at running back, right? You got to make sure you do that. And as you can see, guys, running backs come off very early, yet people are still promoting the 0 RB strategy, which is absolutely ludicrous. You got to load up on running backs. Robust RB, guys, not 0 RB. Okay, Jamar Chase starting off the 5th round, then Dak Prescott coming off with the 2nd pick in the 5th round here. And we're going to take a quick glance. I'm going to show you something real quick. Very big secret. Look at the wide receiver ones theoretically. I mean, Jamar Chase is there, but Higgins is going to eat. Robbie Anderson. I don't trust Odell, but Kenny Galladay. Chase Claypool's going to eat. Cortland Sutton's going to eat. Jerry Jeudy's there, who looked good in preseason. DJ Chark is there. Deebo Samuel's there. Michael Gallup. Yeah, you know what? If I get him in the 7th round, I think he eats more than CeeDee Lamb. You never know, right? Devontae Smith, wide receiver 1. Marvin Jones is going to be a touchdown machine. Darnell Mooney's there. Michael Thomas, when he comes back, could be good. Michael Pittman's going to be there. Elijah Moore is going to be there. Jalen Waddell is going to be there. I'm getting tired here. Guys, do you see what I'm saying? Traquan Smith is going to be the wide receiver 1 until Thomas gets back, right? Like, there's so much wide receivers, but when you look at running backs, all questionable, right? So let's see what happens here. So Jamar Chase, Dak Prescott, Mike Davis. Mike Davis is not an RB1. I don't get that. I don't get why they give him the starting job. He could have a safe year, but I'm just not sold. Kyler Murray, Mark Andrews, Damian Williams, T. Higgins coming off the board. Trey Sermon ahead of Javonte Williams. I'm taking Javonte. Fifth round is not bad value. He wasn't going to come back for sure coming back, so I just went Javonte Williams there. So, again, after this, I'm going to try to anchor my team with an ace quarterback and start adding more wide receiver depth. So, as you can see here, there goes Chase Edmonds, who, sucks completely. So as you guys see here, the first 5 rounds, I got my base foundation in running backs, started aiming high on the depth chart at wide receiver, then I'm going to anchor my team with an ace quarterback. I talk about the sneaky 7 and the 16-round draft solution, okay? It's very important, guys. Again, you load up on those running backs and have depth at all positions and have a backup plan for a backup plan, okay? So this was the first 5 rounds of the Fantasy Football Mock Draft. I'm going to recap the 5th round. We're going to call it a day. If you are new to the channel, make sure you guys do subscribe. And again, get that 60-round draft so it'll put you light years ahead of the competition, okay, guys? I promise you'll be light years ahead of the competition. 5th round, Jamar Chase, Dak Prescott, Mike Davis, Kyler Murray, Mark Andrews, Damian Harris, T. Higgins, Trey Sermon, Javonte Williams, Chase Edmonds, Chase Claypool, Tyler Higbee very early there, Robbie Anderson, and we're waiting on the last pick of the 5th round. Well, guys, thank you very much for being here. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Guys, I just realized this is a 14-team draft. I kind of knew it. 2, 4, 6, 10, 12, 14. So, yeah, this was a 14-team draft, and I'm just so used to 12. I clicked on a 12 when I came in, and I wasn't even paying attention. Hence why they were, players were coming off very fast. So there you go. There's a 14. People kept asking me for a 14-team draft. Well, there you have it, guys. 14-team draft. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. We still got a solid base and a solid team. Okay, guys? Those are the first 5 rounds of a 14-team draft. I was kind of aware. I saw team 14. I was too busy analyzing. I didn't even count. But, yeah, 14-team league. People kept asking. There you go. Team still looks okay considering. But I like 12-person preferably. Okay, guys? All right, so let's wrap this up here. Again, I'm positive I clicked on a 12-person when I came in. It is what it is. So there you go. You got a glimpse of a 14-team league mock draft first 5 rounds. Subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and we'll talk soon.